Szanowanie wszystkim, dzisiaj mamy poniedziałek, 7 sierpień, więc zaczynamy u mnie. W całej Irlandii jest teraz bank holiday, czyli dzień wolny, mam troszeczkę czasu. Ostatni tydzień urlopu, więc jeszcze mam zamiar coś dograć. Tutaj jestem teraz w tej chwili na wyszukiwaniu czegoś na temat Wexford, bo robię tutaj, szukam jakiegoś materiału. No i natrafiłem tutaj na gościa, skontaktowałem się z nim i on dał zgodę, żebym mógł po prostu umieścić jego film w swoim tutaj właśnie materiale, w tym odcinku. Więc w wolnym świecie, czyli jednym słowem odejście od rozsądku i zdrowych zasad, tylko straszenie, jeszcze raz straszenie przez media, przez gości pokroju Kwaśniewskiego tutaj, który mieni się chrześcijaninem, niestety tylko i wyłącznie straszył tych wszystkich jego wspaniałych wielbicieli a strach, wiadomo, jest bardzo złym doradcą, także mieliśmy to, co mieliśmy. No tutaj w Irlandii, ja tutaj jestem jeszcze chyba byłem w Galway, tak, to ja pamiętam jak ta cała świroza nadeszła, to ja pracowałem w hotelu, byłem menadżerem, pracowałem jako menadżer, jako ja jedyny byłem przeciwny tym wszystkim obostrzeniom, nie chodziłem w masce, nie chodziłem na żadne nie wiem, zawsze się burzyłem i pamiętam, miałem spięcie z szefem jednym i za cholerę po prostu nie dostosowałem się do tych narzuconych przez rząd warunków, w jakie mieliśmy pracować. No i tam chłopaki i dziewczyny biegały w maskach, jakieś przyłbicach, jakieś przecież to był oben. Porobili w restauracjach te wszystkie pleksy, postawili między stolikami, w ogóle między posiłkami miała być chyba godzina 40. Ludzie byli wkurzeni, że się wyrzucało wcześniej. Myśleli, że będzie dłużej, można się jeść, a tu godzina 40, wszyscy wkurzeni tam z tych gości, którzy jedli. Także ogólnie to było jedna wielka porażka z punktu widzenia mojego, jako osoby, która musiała interweniować. Miałem parę jakichś głupich komentarzy, dlaczego nie nosisz? Wszyscy jesteśmy w tym razem. A ja w dupie was mam wszystkich. Nikt mi nie będzie niczego narzucał. Później przejechaliśmy do Cork. Też były jakieś debilne obostrzenia i też robotę żona dostała, to nie mogliśmy opuszczać po prostu granic hrabstwa bez żadnych pozwoleń, w razie czego jak był jakiś checkpoint, czyli policja stała, musieliśmy pokazać, po co jedziemy, dlaczego, i ogólnie bzdury takie, że każdy się bał i w ogóle wszyscy siedzieli w domach. Myśmy jeździli sobie nawet jak były na przykład jak się nazywa limity wyjazdów, to myśmy jeździli na przykład 90 km, żeby wyjechać nad ocean, bo człowiek było lato i człowiek miał nakazane siedzieć na przykład w domu cały czas, siedzieć w domu i patrzeć przez ścianę. No przecież to było chore. No i tutaj jeszcze chciałbym nawiązać właśnie do tych debilnych obostrzeń i po prostu to było bardzo, bardzo chore. No i tutaj kolega właśnie mi dał pozwolenie, żebym mógł udostępnić jego filmy, więc pokrótce opiszę, o co tu chodzi, i nie będę przeciągał, nie będę przedłużał, nie będę zanudzał. Chcę wam tylko tu pokazać, o co chodzi. No więc tak, mam tutaj, natrafiłem właśnie na ten kanał, tu widzicie go. Kolega mi tutaj mówił, że jakbyście mogli, to subskrybujcie gościa, jakbyście mogli lajki dawać pod jego filmami, żeby dawać większy posłuch, bo naprawdę robotę robi dobrą. On jest biblijnym chrześcijaninem, także wszyscy ci, co wierzą w Biblię, wierzą w to, co jest tam napisane, to powinni się zainteresować tym. Także tak, Pierwszy odcinek, pierwszy filmik tutaj, jaki wrzucam, to było pytanie o to, ile wziąłeś fastryk, no i co myślisz o tych wszystkich lockdownach, które były, i to było robione rok temu. I tam będziecie mieli sondę przeprowadzoną właśnie w mieście Wexford. Wexford to jest tam, gdzie ja żyłem prawie 3 lata i z lekkim okładem. Bardzo fajne miasteczko, bardzo mili ludzie i możecie sobie posłuchać, co ma do powiedzenia. Drugi odcinek, drugi filmik to jest minister zdrowia Irlandii zdecydował, że da rekomendacje dla ludzi, tutaj dla dzieci, które skończyły 6 miesięcy, żeby szczepić ich, żeby fastrygować ich na kaszel 19. No to możecie sobie posłuchać jakie są komentarze tutaj tych ludzi, tych przechodniów. Trzeci filmik, facet się pyta o to, jaki masz stan zdrowia w skali od 1 do 10, no i czy wziąłeś fastrygi na kaszel 19, to możecie sobie też posłuchać. Tam jeden akurat właśnie pan jest ewangelicznym chrześcijaninem, no i możecie posłuchać, co on o tym myśli. No ja się w 100% z nim zgadzam. Zresztą na zakończenie ostatni filmik, ten czwarty, to jest jego podsumowanie. Kilka słów o tym, z kim tutaj walczymy na ziemi, no i jest to ewidentnie walka duchowa. Ludzie boją się, że stracą wszystko, co mieli, wszystkie wygody życia. No i tutaj opowiada, jak media generują przekaz, że jest źle, by ludzie się bali. A wiadomo, kto jest ojcem kłamstwa. Nie będę tutaj mówił kto, ale wszyscy wiedzą. Więc zapraszam do oglądania, zapraszam do komentowania, zapraszam do subskrypcji tego kanału tutaj kolegi i jakbyście mogli jakiś tam feedback dać, to dajcie, no i zapraszam. Także przepraszam z góry za te napisy, bo czasami ja korzystam z sztucznej inteligencji, to taki program jest, ja wrzucam ten filmik i automatycznie generuje te napisy i już zauważyłem, że źle mi tam wygenerował to, także z góry przepraszam. Mam nadzieję, że znajdę w przyszłości jakiś lepszy program i będą bardziej te napisy akuratne do wypowiadania treści. Także zapraszam jeszcze raz i pozdrawiam. Miłego dnia życzę. Bye.
This time last year, Ireland still had lockdowns, vaccine passports, and endless media coverage about COVID and vaccines. 1 year on, I greet the people of Wexford and ask them for their opinions on what has happened to lockdowns, to vaccine passports, and with the vaccines. And tell me, did you take any of the vaccines?
The first, I took the vaccine and I took the extra one, but after that I wouldn't take them anymore.
Are you up to date with all your boosters and shots?
Yeah.
And did you have your all your shots?
I got the first vaccination purely because I wanted to travel.
Are you up to date on all your boosters and shots?
No.
You're not? Why not?
Well, I didn't get any of them.
And tell me this, you just don't believe in any of it, do you?
No.
Are you up to date with all your boosters and shots?
No, I'm not.
Why not?
I didn't really want to get the last couple, to be honest with you.
And did you get the first?
I did because I work in pharmacy and I kind of felt like I had to.
What do you think about the whole COVID thing?
I don't believe in it at all. It's the biggest hoax going. Never did from the start.
And did you take, are you up to date on all your boosters?
No, I didn't take nothing. Nothing. I wouldn't take nothing.
What do you think about COVID?
Well, initially I thought it was a conspiracy and I didn't really believe in it. But a couple of weeks ago I caught it myself and I was very, very ill. So it is out there.
If there were more vaccines coming out in the future, would you take them?
It depends now, to be honest. It's just because we don't really know what's in them. So I myself might wait a bit just to see if anyone else has a reaction to it and then get it myself. But
so you let them be the guinea pig?
not necessarily, no.
Vaccines, well, in relation to COVID, I still think it's a government thing. I think it's something that was spread solely maybe to kill off old people or something like that. I think it's a conspiracy.
I haven't caught COVID yet, and I haven't been vaccinated. So obviously I could be overly optimistic about it because you can still catch it, but it's a bit strange. I mean, I suppose they were trying to be preventative, but anyway, the disease is real, but the reason is very ambiguous.
And I do think it was made in a lab. I do not think it was naturally occurring or anything like that. I think it was probably some biological warfare, and they decided to test it to see if it was going to work.
Would you be in favour of bringing in some kind of vaccine passports in the future?
No, I don't think they're needed, personally, but I don't think they're needed anyway, no.
What about lockdowns? Would you be in favour of bringing in lockdowns in the future?
No, I wouldn't, no.
Are you sure?
Yeah, 100%. Don't want any more lockdowns.
What did you think of the lockdowns?
Oh, it was horrendous, like, but I went everywhere. We went for dinner, we went everywhere. I didn't have any nothing. I enjoyed the time. Never wore a mask, never washed my hands, never done nothing.
And would you agree with more lockdowns in the future?
You wouldn't. I won't be up complaining to it anyway because I don't believe in it.
And now, if the government came out with a new campaign for a new round of shots, would you take in?
You would not take nothing.
What did you think about the lockdowns?
They didn't work. They've been proven before, and prior times they've done it. They don't work.
And you wouldn't be in favour then of having more?
God no. God no.
Would you be in favour of having more lockdowns in the future?
No, I don't think that would be helpful very much.
It's just like a control thing.
Yeah, you think that the whole vaccine passport thing is really about control? It's not really about health.
No, I wouldn't think so.
Now, look, this time last year, excess deaths were running at about 5%. At the moment, they're running at 17%, okay? So there's more people dying now than there was at any time during the lockdowns or the pandemic, and the media isn't reporting on it. So what do you think about that?
I didn't know about that myself now, to be honest.
The thing is, this time last year we were still more or less in lockdown. We had to have vaccine passports to get into restaurants and stuff like that. And now that's magically gone a year later and nobody seems to mind. What do you think about, nearly about 85 to 90,000 people have entered the country this year. And none of them had to have any vaccine passports or any proof of vaccination, and they're being allowed in. But this time last year we had to, just to go for a coffee, we had to show our proof of status. So what do you think about that?
I really resent it. I resent showing a passport. I mean, to me, it reminded me of Nazis and the Holocaust and all of that, like wearing a star and saying you're a Jew. To me, it was like, how dare you ask me for a passport? Do you know what I mean? I didn't like it. I resented it. I mean, your freedom was harboured. You were prevented from going where you wanted to go. And I know they say everybody was in the same situation, but my friend didn't get it. And she has a child, and she was stopped taking her child to go and see Santa at Christmas time.
Around this time last year, excess deaths were running at about 5% or so, but now they're running at about 17%. So there's more people dying now than there was this time last year. So what do you think about that?
Well, it's just scandalous what's going on, to be honest. They're murdering people and that's it now. Yeah. It's terrible, like. Every day there's someone dying. Yeah. Young players, soccer players, rugby players and everything. Yeah. It's a shame what's happening, to be honest, now.
Yeah, around this time last year, excess deaths were running at about 5%, but now they're running at 17% according to the latest figure. So there's more people dying now.
And there was prior to the vaccines, yeah.
Yeah, so, and the media isn't reporting on it, so what do you think?
Yeah, no. Well, sure, why would they be reporting on something they're still promoting?
Yeah, so what do you think might be the cause of all these excess deaths?
Well, there's not enough data at the moment, but there should be a lot more research done into it. Obviously, there's something gone wrong somewhere, and it is since the vaccine, so you would imagine there's some link, wouldn't you?
It's possible. Yeah, it's definitely possible. Yeah. This time last year, there was excess deaths were running at about 5-6%. Now, at the moment, they're running at 16-17%, and maybe even going to get higher. So it seems that but the media aren't reporting on this. But 2 years ago, they were running non-stop, scaring people. But now there's more people dying, and there's less media coverage. So what do you think about that?
I think it's all sensationalism. I don't believe a word of it. I don't believe a single thing I see on the news anymore. I think they're limiting certain things, they're exaggerating other things, is to manipulate people. I mean, there's an agenda there.
In this segment, I ask Wexford locals what they think about Stephen Donnelly's push to get the whole country vaccinated, and what are their opinions on the HSE promoting the COVID vaccine for children from 6 months on. Our Health Minister, Stephen Donnelly, has just recommended the second booster, so that's the 4th vaccine for all adults. So will you be taking yours?
More than likely, well, yeah, due to the age.
Our Health Minister, Stephen Donnelly, has just recommended the second booster, so that's the 4th vaccine for all adults. So will you be taking yours?
I'm a healthcare worker and I got offered it probably a couple of months ago and I didn't take it.
Do you mind me asking you why you didn't take it?
I just made a decision that I wasn't taking it.
Did you take the 3?
Yeah.
Our Health Minister, Stephen Donnelly, has just issued the second booster, so the 4th vaccine for all adults. So will you be taking yours?
Probably.
And are you up to date in all your boosters and shots?
Yes.
Are you up to date in all your boosters and shots?
I am not, but I have had the full dosage and 1 booster.
So you're not going to take this booster, but did you take the other 3 shots that were available?
I did. The first one I took it out of that, it was more compulsion. I had to do it. The other 2 I thought long and hard about it. In the end, I did do it. I was never certain about the final 2, whether it was a good move or not. And just having had COVID, I'm still not sure.
So our Health Minister, Stephen Donnelly, has just recommended the second booster, so the 4th vaccine for people, for all adults. So will you be taking yours?
To be honest, I actually don't think I will. I've already have 1 booster and 2 normal vaccines, but I don't see the need to actually take another booster on top of that.
Our Health Minister, Stephen Donnelly, has just recommended the second booster, so the 4th vaccine. So will you be getting your second booster?
No, I had only 2 of them, and no, I wouldn't be interested in getting more of them.
Our Health Minister has also recommended vaccines from children now from 6 months on. So what are your thoughts on that?
They're too young. I've got kids myself, and the answer would be no, definitely not.
The Health Minister, Stephen Donnelly, has just recommended vaccines now for children at 6 months old, and that's going to be added to the vaccine schedule. So what are your thoughts on that?
I believe since the vaccines have proved helpful in knowing the amount of COVID that's been spreading, I think it's a good idea.
The Health Minister has also recommended now from children from 6 months old onwards. So what do you think about that?
To be honest, I don't have kids, so I don't really know. If I had a child, if it was being recommended, I probably would.
Our Health Minister has also recommended these vaccines for children now from 6 months on. What do you think about that?
I wouldn't, but like it, no. Yeah.
Yeah, you think it's a bad idea for young children?
Bad idea for children, yeah.
At the moment, we have our Health Minister has recommended vaccines now. This vaccine for children from 6 months old. So, what do you think about that?
I actually 100% against vaccinating children.
The Health Minister has also recommended that children from the age of 6 months be given this vaccine. What do you think about that?
I might be sort of questioning that, all right. I think they're too young.
Our Health Minister has recommended that children from the ages of 6 months now start taking the COVID vaccine. So what do you think about that?
That's a sticky one. Honestly, I think 6 months is a bit too soon. Even I'm not too sure what the recommendations were before for how young children were allowed to do it, but 6 months seems extremely young to be giving out vaccines to kids. Yeah, no, I honestly don't agree with that one now, to be honest with you.
So at the moment we've got like 570 people on trolleys, and normally those numbers aren't seen till January, so we're expecting more in January. So do you think that maybe the vaccines haven't been as effective as we're being told?
Well, I think I'm guilty of this myself, and the fact that I'm not up to date with my boosters, and the fact that people have stopped wearing masks more often, that they're not wearing them in crowded places, that it is allowing the virus and other infections to spread more easily.
Yeah. And so you don't think that the vaccines have been totally helpful?
I think that they have been helpful, yes.
So there's like 570 people on trolleys at the moment, and you think with all the vaccines and everything that people are taking, to be less people, or at least the same amount, but there's actually more people now sick than there has been before the vaccine rollout. So what do you think about that?
I never really thought anything about it. So, yeah. So
you don't know what could be causing all these people?
No.
We have 570 people at the moment on trolleys in hospitals, and so they're record numbers. They're numbers we don't normally see till January. So there's more people sick now than there is normally for this time of year. So what do you think about that?
I think the healthcare system is just in crisis in general, all around. Just this winter just seems to be a bit of a shitstorm.
Would you think there's a possibility that the vaccines are actually causing people to become ill rather than COVID itself?
I have no idea. I wish I knew the answers to that, but I cannot confirm or deny if the vaccines are actually making people more sick.
How would you describe your health over the last year or two?
Not very good, like, but you know, I smoke and drink, and I don't try to take care of my health at all.
And can I just ask you then, did you, out of 10, what would you give your health?
1.
That's near death now. That's not that bad. Anyway,
actually, I give it like a 4 out of 10. Yeah.
Okay. And can I ask you, did you take any of the COVID vaccines?
I did. Yeah. 3 of them. I was bullied into doing it, basically. Yeah.
And did it cause any long-term or short-term side effects after you took those vaccines?
Not that I noticed. Only I was sick for about 2 days after the first one I got. Yeah.
And so you haven't noticed any effect then, good or bad since?
No, hopefully not. Yeah.
And would you take any more of them?
No, there's no reason to at this point, like, so no, I wouldn't.
So tell me, how would you describe your health over the last year or two?
Not the best.
Out of 10, what would you give it?
Probably a 7.
And did you take any of the COVID vaccines?
I did, yeah.
How many?
2.
And did you have any health? Were the health problems, do you think, caused or exacerbated by the vaccine, or did you have them prior to the vaccine?
No, I had a lot of health issues prior. I don't think it really did anything to make anything worse. So
you think that it was perfectly safe, the vaccine?
I think it was developed really, really quickly for what it was, and if it had come out now, I don't think that I would get another one. And even now, like, they're telling you to upgrade it, and I'm just not. I do have a lot of family members who had bad issues afterwards. You hear a lot of people who have heart issues and stuff like that after getting it, and that's kind of the reason why I wouldn't get it again. But I got lucky in the sense that it didn't affect me.
How would you describe your health over the last year or two?
Not great. Yeah. Lots of things haven't changed, and having to get tests for this and that. And but before that, I was always usually very healthy. Yeah, having energy, lots of energy. Yeah.
And can I just ask you, did you take the COVID vaccines?
I did.
How many of them did you take?
2, I think. I don't know. Yeah.
And did you have any of these problems?
I did before, but I wouldn't put it down to that at all. No, not at all.
No, what would you put it down to?
I'd put it down to just getting old.
Yeah. Okay.
I wouldn't even go there, to be honest. No.
Okay, so you're perfect. You don't regret taking them at all, do you?
Not at all. No. It made me feel safer. I've never had COVID, so yeah.
Well, I didn't take a vaccine. I never had COVID either.
Yeah. But still, everyone has different opinions. But I just feel I believe in the science. Yeah. So.
Not the worst, not the best.
Out of 10, what would you give it?
6.
And can I ask you, did you take any of the COVID vaccines?
Yes, I took the Pfizer, I think. Yeah, I got the 2 shots, but I haven't taken any top-ups.
And did you have any side effects after those vaccines?
No, just a sore arm. I actually didn't have any of the side effects, I don't think, no.
And did your health improve or disimprove after the vaccines?
Maybe disimprove a little bit, but I'm not really too sure. I won't be able to say for sure.
And would you take any more of those jabs?
No, I don't think so, no.
Why not?
I just don't really think it's made much of a difference to getting, I got COVID after I got it, so I wasn't too concerned with getting it again.
Health is good at the moment, yeah.
And can I ask you, did you take any of the COVID vaccines?
I didn't take any of the booster or anything like that, or the vaccine, no.
No, so you're just in good health. You didn't take any vaccines.
I'm in good health, but I didn't take the vaccine, to be honest, or the booster, because I have an opinion about that. Kind of, I just don't think it's good. Personal point of view, I just don't think it's good. It causes problems medically, I suppose, for people. We don't know what we're putting into our body, basically, I suppose, and I suppose that's it, yeah.
It's average, for a man my age. I'm about 61 years of age now. Obviously, being my age, I get tired, but generally it's quite good, yeah.
And can I ask you, did you take any of the COVID vaccines?
I did, yes, yeah.
How many?
I took the first 2 and then the booster, and I didn't take any after that.
And did you notice any side effects, or short-term or long-term, after taking the jabs?
Well, just in my arm, short term, for about a week. I can't say I noticed any major, side effects. So, maybe I'm one of the lucky ones. Yeah.
And would you be taking any more of them in the future?
No, I won't. No.
Can I ask why not?
I think, like everybody else, we were advised to take it, but I think they could have done a bit more research. Had a few more trials. In my opinion, they probably rushed it a bit. To be honest, if there was to be another virus appear on the scene again, I don't think I'd rush out to get a vaccine. To be honest, I swallowed everything that was told, the media, what they were telling us and everything, and I believed it all, but I don't think I'd do it again, no.
How would you describe your health over the last year or two?
Actually excellent, yeah, no problems.
And did you take any of the COVID vaccines?
I took the first one. It was just one. It was the Johnson, and then I took the booster 12 months ago, and I was very sick after it, so I will not take any more.
And did you notice any? Did you have any kind of mild or serious long-term effects after that booster?
6 weeks tiredness. That was all. Yeah, I was fine after the 6 weeks.
I don't have any major life-threatening conditions, so I'd say I'm pretty lucky. But then I don't drink or smoke, and I'm very healthy. I live a healthy lifestyle. Yeah, very good.
And can I just ask you then? Did you take any of the COVID vaccines?
Absolutely not. 100% no.
Can I ask you why?
Oh, I don't believe. I'm an evangelical Christian, and I believe COVID vaccinations are linked to transhumanism, and I don't like what was in that injection. I think it's a very sinister agenda, and for that reason, I refuse to take it.
How has your health been in the last year or two?
Not great. Not great. Yeah. No. Not great. No.
Can I ask you, just out of 10, what would you give your health out of 10 in the last year or two?
7 or an 8 maybe. Yeah, probably about 5 or 6.
Yeah. So that's very low because you're very young. It should be 10 out of 10 really. Can I ask you, did you take any of the COVID vaccines?
No. I did. I got mine, yeah. I got both mine on a booster. Yeah.
And you didn't take any?
No.
And so since you've taken the vaccine, have you noticed your health improve, stay the same or disimprove?
It probably got worse, but I don't know whether it's the vaccine or whether it's just in general. But yeah, probably got worse, yeah.
I certainly have long COVID, but it's nearly afraid to say that in some respects. Yeah.
Can I ask you then, did you take any of the vaccines?
Oh, I did. I took the vaccines and a booster, and then by the time it came around to have the booster again, I actually got COVID. So, but in saying that, I don't know whether it was the right choice or not, but it was the choice. Not the choice, but it was the recommendation, and you have to go by recommendations too.
Sorry, can I just ask then? Did you got COVID after you got vaccinated? Is that correct? Yeah. And do you think that it's a possibility that it was the vaccine that caused this long COVID or this illness rather than some kind of virus itself?
I honestly don't know. I mean, I took the vaccines, did exactly what I was supposed to do, got COVID. I was extremely ill. It was like having 5 different illnesses at the same time, from chest infection to sinus infection to you name it. Everything was like a 5-in-1, and I honestly don't know, could it have been any worse had I not taken the vaccine? I don't know, because I'm not a medical professional, so I don't know.
And just would you take any more vaccines?
No.
No, I didn't take any of the vaccines. No, my mother took one, and her health was declining now. She'd say that she's on depressants and everything now, but she wouldn't be. She was after taking all the vaccines, and I stayed away from them. I had that option, so that's it, really.
Well, I haven't been sick much, and if I was sick, it wasn't anything serious. So it's good.
And tell me this: did you take any of the vaccines?
No, I don't agree with the vaccines at all.
How would you describe your health over the last year or two?
Very good.
Out of 10, what would you give it?
About 7.
And now, just another question: did you take any of the COVID vaccines?
Yes.
How many?
2.
And did you have any side effects from taking any of those, short term or long term?
No, none I'm aware of. No.
The last year it's gone a bit
I'm getting a few pains in my hip and in my shoulder. But other than that, I do a lot of training, do a lot of swimming and a lot of exercise. So I'd be pretty good for my age, I'd say.
And can I ask you, did you take any of the COVID vaccines?
I did.
How many?
I'm after getting, I think I'm 3 or 4 jabs, I think, as far as I know. Yeah.
And did you have any side effects after?
I had a little reaction at first, and I went up to the doctor, my body was breaking up in all kind of little spots, came up along. So they kept me in for 2 or 3 days in the hospital, just to kind of monitor and see what was going on. And nothing happened anyway, so.
Not bad, yeah, not bad. I've had a few problems with my kidneys and stuff like that. Cocaine abuse, to be honest with you. But other than that, I'm back to normal, back fresh, back healthy, working.
Very good.
All is good, staying clean, so.
And can I ask you, did you take any of the COVID vaccines?
I did. I got the first 2. I didn't get the booster. It was I forget what brand it was. It wasn't the Johnson & Johnson. What's the other one?
Pfizer?
No, not Pfizer. The funny name to it. Moderna. That was the one, yeah.
And can I ask you then, after you got the vaccines, did you notice any improvement? Your health improve, disimprove, or stay the same?
I'd say it stayed the same, but the second jab that I got, I felt awful after. I just had my head down. I was in bits for a day, and then I was back to normal, fresh again.
And would you take any more of them?
I wouldn't.
So for your physical health, how would you, out of 10, what would you give it out of 10?
I'd give it an 8. Strong 8, yeah, definitely.
And can I just ask you then, did you take any of the vaccines when they were about?
Yes, I did, but I didn't get a booster because I felt like I've taken enough. Didn't really need the booster.
And did you notice any effects, short-term or long-term, after the vaccines?
I think a short-term effect would probably be just headaches and stuff and kind of getting used to it. But other than that, no long-term effects anyway.
Very good. And then will you be taking any more?
No, definitely not. I'm all vaccinated up now. I don't think there's any need for any more, definitely.
Did you take any of the COVID vaccines?
Yeah, I have. I got COVID vaccines. Yeah, I got the 2 of them. I just have to get my booster.
Did you have any negative side effects after the vaccines?
Yeah, I was sick for a few days, yeah. Kind of like I had a cold.
Could you describe your health over the last year or 2?
Very mixed.
Just out of 10, what would you give it out of 10?
4.
Okay, so not great. Can I just ask you, did you take any of the COVID vaccines?
Yes.
How many did you take?
All of them.
And did you have, were these health problems, were they exacerbated after you took these vaccines, or were they always there?
They were underlying, and they were not exacerbated by the vaccine at all.
So your health has always been mixed?
Yes.
And did you take any of the vaccines?
I did, yeah.
How many?
2.
And have you noticed any, has your health improved, disimproved, or stayed the same since the vaccines?
It's hard to say, with so many different, variations of stuff going on, like mental health, economy, like money and stuff like that. Like, I haven't really had the money to even afford a gym. So it's hard to say with all the varying factors.
And would you take any more of the vaccines?
To be honest, no, I don't think I would. No, I think I'm a young, healthy person and I don't need it.
It's very windy here, so I hope that the sound is okay. I'll try to speak loudly so that you can hear me. So, before I make this video, I just want to read a poem. So my poem is called The Call to Love. You call to me each day to glorify your name, to raise my spirit up so our Father can reclaim. You call to me at night before I go to sleep, to turn my eyes to you and witness treasures deep. Your call to me is ceaseless. You always call to love the one who is in front of me, as if that one is from above. You call to me eternally, your song etched in my soul. I hear it in the mystery. Christ's love has made me whole. So that's a poem I wrote. I wrote that during the lockdowns, and during the lockdowns I was making videos just for family and friends, and I was getting a lot of flack because I was telling people not to take the old pharmakia, I'm going to call it. I can't say the word because the video can be censored, so I'm just going to call the clot shot pharmakia from now on, because that's what it is. It's sorcery. It's deception. So I wrote that poem, and I was getting a lot of flack, and I'm getting a lot of flack now too. And people are saying to me that I'm full of hate, that I'm just a hateful person, and I'm a racist, and I'm a terrible person for the videos that I've been making. And I actually don't hate anybody. I don't hate other races, and I certainly don't hate. I actually I like reading and listening about other civilizations and races and histories and things like that. But so I don't actually have any hatred in my heart for other people. But I'm being told that I'm a hateful person, and it hurts. But this is I suppose the people that are doing this realise that this is a spiritual war that we're in at the moment. They're still asleep, so they think that life is going to continue as normal. This stable society, this stable Christian civilization that we built, that has been built over the last few centuries or millennia, is going to continue. And we're really at a pivotal point right now in history, and it's not necessarily going to continue. Our civilization is actually, I would say, it's possibly on the brink of collapse. Now, when I say that, it's not going to happen tomorrow or the next day. It's over a few generations this happens. It may be sooner, it may be even one generation, but 2 to 3 generations at most. And the reason why it's collapsing is because of lies, deception, and behind all that is the forces of darkness, which is Satan, who is the father of lies. And in Revelations it says that even the elect will be deceived. And that's what's happening right now. There are people who love God and are good people, but they are deceived. They believe the things that the modern culture is telling them are good. They believe they are good, and the things that Christ tells us are good, they believe they are bad. So so the teachings of the church are not inclusive or tolerant. So they are now bad. They are evil. Speaking the truth about letting hordes of people from different cultures and have different value systems into your country is going to be bad for your people. Saying that out loud now is bad, even though it's blatantly obvious that it's true. Allowing men dressed as prostitutes to read fairy tales to kids in libraries is seen as good, and now, even though it's obviously that's obviously not appropriate. But now it's celebrated. So we're in an age where Satan rules, and he doesn't rule by coercion, by force. I think he rules by deception. He gets people to believe the things that are good. He gets them to believe that they are bad, and the things that are bad, he gets them to believe that they are good. And so the people destroy themselves, and that's what's happening to our civilization right now. And it's tearing families apart. People are there's people like me and you, the people who are watching this, who are waking up, who understand that, and the people who are waking up, like what does that mean? What does waking up mean? I think it means that or part of it is recognizing that this is a spiritual war that we're in. The world is not a benign place. The civilization that we're in, this culture that we're in, is not necessarily designed for our benefit, for our for our spiritual well-being. It's designed to keep us down and to keep us enslaved. And people are waking up to that. I think for me, I was always kind of on that course, but the lockdowns and the pharmakia, the shot shots, like that really woke me up. I really kind of came to see the evil in the world, and it's still here, and the people that are still deceived, they think that I'm the evil one, or you're the one. The people who are speaking out against these things, that we're the evil people, that we're filled with hate, and I don't see that myself. And when I talk to people about this, I don't feel any hatred coming from them. I just feel fear, concern, worry, distress, because they understand what's happening. So it's difficult to speak the truth. There's no real benefit to it. You don't get nobody's coming up and patting you on the back, telling you well done. Some people do, but most people
they think that you're just an evil person. Like for my part, the people who are on the other side, the people who are not awake yet, I would just call them that. They're just not awake yet. I don't think they're evil. I just think they're deceived. They believe that they have wrong beliefs. They believe that good is bad and bad is good. So they're deceived. So I don't feel any hatred or any animosity towards them, and and I'm willing to engage in discussion with anybody about any topic. But I won't be. People are trying to browbeat me and shame me into being, to conform to the norms of our perverse culture at the moment. And I can't do that, because to do that is to die inside. If you know the truth, you can't go back to living a lie. And I think that this is, this moment right now in history, this is it's a very significant moment. I think there's a big kind of revealing. It's not going to happen for everybody. A lot of people aren't going to wake up. They're just going to continue on into the transhumanist, smart city future with, where paedophilia will be normalised, and people will take the mark of the beast. They'll probably have some chip in them, and it'll be it'll be awful. But people are going to go into that future. That's their destiny. If they don't want to wake up, that's the destiny. Slavery. It's slavery to Satan, really. But they won't be coerced. They'll be deceived into it, persuaded into it. They'll think it's a great idea. Most of them will never probably even realise until it's too late. Even after that, they probably won't realise. But for the people out there who do realise, and I think that's a lot of people who are watching my channel. We're on a journey of awakening. We understand that that it doesn't have to be the way that the future is doesn't necessarily have to be the way that the powers that be are telling us it's going to be. You don't have to get chipped. You don't have to go into a cashless society. You don't have to accept the normalization of paedophilia. You don't have to. You don't have to be, move into a smart city and, all that kind of crap, And so, we're basically, it's a difficult time. I'm not going to lie. I'm finding it not difficult, but it's a challenge. It's a challenge. But to be honest with you, I feel like this is what I was born to do. Just to speak out the truth against all the lies of the world. I mean, there's people walking around now. We just lived through the biggest lie that I've ever witnessed. That those lockdown lies, the pharmacia lies. All those lies. Now the excess deaths are going through the roof. And we're going to be living with this for a very, very long time. The effects of all those lies, and people are just walking around as if nothing's happened. And you're a bad person, you're an evil person if you bring it up or mention it. That was all just a lie. That was all deception for profit and for murder. That's all that was. Profit, murder, and slavery. That's all that was going on there. And that's the truth. That's what it was all about. But if you say that out loud, you're a bad person. Just like when the lockdowns were happening, if you didn't agree with it or you spoke out against the pharmacia, you were considered a bad person, an evil person, and vilified in the media. And this is going to go on, I suppose. But I just feel like that I can't turn my back on Christ, because I think that Christ is the truth. Okay. Christ is the truth, so you have to live according to the truth, not your truth or your version of it, but what actually is the truth, And I don't think that the future that they're herding us into, the transhumanist future, they'll eventually make vaccines. Like this guy Rudolf Steiner made a prediction that they'll eventually make vaccine. Or I shouldn't say that. They'll make the pharmacia, the injections. This video could get censored just for saying that word. So unless you're praising them, of course, then it doesn't. But unless this guy Rudolf Steiner said that eventually in the future they're going to make the pharmacia injection that will actually remove the soul from the human body, and I think that's the goal. Ultimately, that's the goal. So I don't want to engage in that. I don't want to like lose my soul, and I don't want other people to lose their soul. So I want to speak the truth while I still can. You know, so it's important. It's the only thing we have. It's the only defense against the lies. If you don't speak the truth, then what's the point of life? Just to live a lie. What's the point of that? You know, you can live comfortably maybe, but there's no joy in it. You know. So yeah, look, that's my video. I'm just you know, it's just life, I suppose. This is the time we're living in, and you know, it's a spiritual war. You know, the people who are still asleep don't realise that. They think it's going to continue, but it's not. It's not going to continue. Our society is not going to continue as normal. We're going into something very, very, very weird, and very strange, and very, I would say, soul destroying for the people who don't want to wake up. It's going to be a living nightmare. And I want to stop that. If I can stop it, or even, you know, just if I can stop it in any way or make any kind of dent in that, I will. That's what I'm trying to do when I'm making these videos. Just tell the truth. You know, the people out there, the ones in the media, they're the liars. The politicians, they're the liars. You know, we all know what the truth is. You know, but they're the ones who keep pushing the lies just so they can keep a comfortable life. You know, so that's my video for today, and look, I hope you watch it. I have another video coming next week. I went up to Dublin there last week, so I just have to edit that and I put it together, and you know, it was a street interview one, so I'll be putting that up next week. So look, God bless, and take care, and yeah, I hope you enjoyed the video. God bless. Goodbye.